no doubt, no hesitation, take Luka Dončić with the number 1 overall pick. Luka Dončić is the guard wing 2-3 from Real Madrid and Barcelona. He's 18, 19 years old. He's spent the last 3 or 4 years since he's 16 playing professional basketball against men.
2018. Honestly, one of the most important NBA years of the last decade. The year we've seen the last championship team actually go back-to-back, which seems extremely rare now. The year LeBron decided to leave Cleveland again and take his talents to the Lakers. The year Paul George literally surprised everyone and decided not to go to LA and instead stay with OKC and Russ. But most importantly, the year we seen one of the greatest draft classes ever produced. I made a video about the 2018 draft class before, but this class took such a significant leap since that video that I just had to retouch it. The biggest mistake in this draft was the Phoenix Suns actually getting the number 1 pick and not drafting one of the greatest prospects we've ever seen. We're talking about a kid that was definitively the best player in Europe at 18 and won the MVP. Yes, I understand some people question his athleticism and how exactly what he did in Europe translates to the NBA, but in my opinion, that was based off of other international prospects that were all-time misses. This dude was clearly different. And oh, it wasn't just Phoenix. This man was passed on twice. Vlade Divac. He was a part of 2 of the dumbest draft day moves ever. The Charlotte Hornets in 1996 infamously traded this guy for Vlade Divac. And in 2018, this time as a GM, Vlade was once again involved in an all-time draft day miss. This clip right here, this is Luka beating up on the Kings and taunting Vlade, saying this guy should have drafted
What went into
me.
the decision to not draft Luka Dončić and to go with Bagley at that number 2 spot?
Marvin's for us, better fit, better player, and great talent. So it was easy choice for us.
Going into this draft, these are all the teams that had the longest active playoff droughts. The top 2 teams, they both passed on the generational prospect in this class. But we know poorly run organizations, they always make silly moves, and that's why they're known as poorly run organizations. Remember, in 1996, the Charlotte Hornets traded Kobe for Vlade Divac. And I guess history truly repeats itself, because in this draft, they did something very similar again. Today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek. The NBA is finally back, and now it's the perfect time to see some of your favorite players and teams live in action. My friends over at SeatGeek, well, they're the perfect place to do just that at a discounted price. Everyone can use my promo code Swishout 2025 to get 10% off any tickets. We love basketball over here, but this goes for the NBA, the NFL, concerts, festivals, really anything you want to see live. SeatGeek does all the grunt work for you, and they rate their own tickets on a scale from 1 to 10. The green dots meaning the best deals, and the yellow, orange, red ones meaning you probably should find some different tickets. Also, all their tickets are backed by their buyer's guarantee, so you can feel secure getting your spot. Click the link in my description box below and download the app. This way you can automatically have my code added to your account. That's 10% off any tickets with my promo code Swishout 2025. Do it now. This is for a limited time only.
Yeah, I feel like this organization is in a good spot to get better. Obviously having a lot of picks through the work in the summer. And I think this organization, they've obviously done it in the past with guys like Russell, Kevin, and James. So I think they know what it takes and they know how to do it, and it's only a matter of time.
Like every draft in basically every sport, this one was filled with mistakes. Now, what makes these mistakes feel so damn monumental is simply how great this draft ultimately became. Shai started his first 12 collegiate games on the bench, so he was always a bit overlooked. The Charlotte Hornets had Kemba Walker at that time, so they chose fit, drafted Miles Bridges, traded back with the Clippers, who ultimately chose Shai. Pretty ironic because two of their biggest draft day what-if moments happened with them trading two future MVPs to LA teams. One team just happens to be the Lakers, and they turn teams' mistakes into rings, and the other LA team happens to be...
Because your team traded them.
Well, my reaction was, we're getting Kawhi and Paul George. Having said that, I did bring it up, and I did say, man, can we give them somebody else? Like, we cannot give up Shai. I even told Kawhi when he was saying, like, I need another guy. Kawhi, Shai's going to be a star.
Now, I'll always ride with this trade being valid for both sides, because if you lived it, you understood it. But bro, can anything ever, and I mean ever, actually go right
has been
for the
diagnosed with a
Clippers?
torn meniscus in his right knee. Sources confirmed.
With the NFL, everyone talks about the infamous Herschel Walker trade that essentially built the Dallas Cowboys dynasty in the 90s. That was a move where a championship win-now team traded for a championship win-now player, and the rebuilding team actually won a championship before the win-now team. Well, based off of what we seen last year, this trade basically flirts with that in NBA terms. OKC moved from a player they were never going to win with, got an all-time haul and an all-time player, and rebuilt a championship team organically faster than the Clippers can microwave theirs. And focusing specifically on that 2018 draft, look at who they traded. In the history of the NBA, these are the players to average 30 points or more for 3 consecutive seasons. The list really isn't that long, and this truly is an all-time scoring peak.
Did you ever figure out why Sacramento didn't take you?
No. But they said because they had Fox, so they needed a big, which I get.
But even in this 3-year span, where Shai has been basically historic scoring-wise, Luka has still been the top scorer. That's because since being drafted, nobody outside of Giannis and Jokic has had a bigger impact on their team than Luka. Before Dallas even got Luka, they hadn't even won a playoff series since they last won an NBA championship. They get one man, and in this 6-year span, they make a conference finals, make an NBA finals, and take down 2 number 1 seeds. Mark Cuban was literally on record saying he divorced his wife before he let Luka play for another franchise. And well, no more Cuban immediately equated to Luka playing for another franchise? The Lakers at that? Mavericks ownership, they literally used Shaq as an example of a player that worked hard every single day when, admittedly, he didn't. But imagine if in 1995, after we seen Shaq take Orlando to the finals, we never seen him play a meaningful game for Orlando ever again. That's literally what happened. But that one wasn't Mark Cuban's fault. Sounds like ownership wanted to completely go a different direction. But this one was.
Trading their first round pick away. And for what? To go all in on clearing cap space in hopes of signing Jalen Brunson? Look, Jalen Brunson is a nice player. Hope the brother comes, hope he gets paid. But the Knicks are acting like he's KD. I'm going to repeat, Jalen Brunson.
If you look at the players with the most points per game in the playoffs since 2023, you see a 6'1" second round Jalen Brunson. When Jalen Brunson initially went to New York, clearly no one seen this. But now, I can honestly say 3 years later, this man literally saved New York basketball. Prior to Jalen Brunson arriving in the last 2 decades without Jalen, that team won 19 playoff games total. Jalen Brunson in 3 years is already past that, and he got them back to the conference finals.
Brunson's just not a game changer. I don't love the Jalen Brunson signing. I think it's too much money. And I think if anybody screams potential bust in this class, and there's always some, right? Guys sign and make a bunch of money. Every local media guy, every fan says, this is amazing. It never works out that way. Not everyone's amazing. If anybody is that bust, to me, it's Jalen Brunson going to the Knicks.
It's an awful idea. And I like Jalen Brunson's a fine player. But Wild's pal Bill Simmons put it perfectly when he called it the saddest sweepstakes ever. The Jalen Brunson sweepstakes. Is Jalen Brunson one of the 10 best point guards in basketball?
The crazy part to me is the fact that even though Dallas could have gotten him for this steal of a deal, he's still playing for a bargain of a deal given what he gives to that team every single night. In 2024, Jalen Brunson chose to sign early and sign for this deal when he could have waited and signed for this deal. That's a $113 million difference. Consequently, he's the 52nd highest paid player next year. But I told you, Jalen Brunson basically saved New York, and he did. That's because the last time they made the playoffs prior to Brunson, they got broken by this guy. Now, the season directly after Trae did all of this, he actually had his best, most efficient year. Trae Young's momentum and the Hawks team collectively, it simply got halted right after they made this move.
Trae, you can score all the points you want. You can make all the money you want. You can have all the leading assists you want. You can do all that. If you don't win, that shit won't matter. If you don't win, when you're retired, they're going to forget your name. Fast, too. Super fast. And this is, in order for him to reach me in the playoffs, he has to get to year 13.
In DeJounte Murray and Trae Young's last year together, these two were literally the most expensive players on the team, and they were the worst pairing together.
You were an all-star. What was your reaction at the time? What's your reaction now as you process it?
I mean, top 24 players, best players in the league are supposed to go there, and they're not getting the top 24 best players. They're missing one, so.
To me, this hurt Trae Young's stock way more than it should have. In 2023, he was actually voted the most overrated player amongst his peers. In 2024, he was top 3. Now, they're finally undoing that. Last year, they traded DeJounte Murray and actually got back a nice package and Dyson Daniels, who finished second in DPOY last year. This year, Trae Young is surrounded by the best supporting cast he's ever had. Just look at this spacing in the preseason with Zachary, Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels, Porzingis, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Okongwu. This man finally has the supporting cast to complement what he does well. This man finally has two-way wings. And now I expect this team to win a lot, which would actually make these numbers matter.
Might shun at. DeAndre Ayton got Monty Williams fired. I'm going to say that. DeAndre Ayton got Monty Williams fired.
Just like I showed this clip of Luka basically taunting Vlade for not drafting him, well, this game felt like that exact same thing to Phoenix. This series alone basically broke up DeAndre Ayton's tenure with Phoenix. And you can even argue Luka was the better big in this series.
We'll be all right.
Was there a reason that DA only played the first 2 minutes of the second half?
I don't like the spirit in the game. I don't like the spirit in the game.
Yeah, I wonder with you and Luka, do you guys have some shared energy when it comes to having a chip on your shoulder right now? I mean, you got the history of the draft, history with the agency, and the last couple of years that you've had. Is that something where y'all connect in terms of trying to prove some folks wrong right now?
If you guys like this video, let me know in the comment section exactly how you feel about this 2018 draft. It just feels like it was riddled by mistake after mistake after mistake. Follow my social media sites, turn on post notifications, do all that great stuff, guys. And until next time, as always, stay tuned.